This is Sean Roden. This is Olympia 2018, and you're watching Sean Ray TV. For Sean Ray TV, I'm here with Milos The Mind Sarcev from way back in the Coliseum gym days of Placentia, California. But Milos, you're originally from Serbia.
Yes.
And you came to California to become a bodybuilder and fulfill that dream somewhere in the late 80s?
87 actually. You don't probably remember, I was on the stage on Orange County Massive Classic. And I remember staring at you at the audience and you were like giving me nods. And I was like, oh my God, here's Sean Ray, approving the way I look. I actually placed second that time. And that was my start.
Started out in 1987, that's when I won the Nationals and turned pro. And from there you went on to have a pretty illustrious career. You're one of the guys that competed more often than not. How many pro shows did you do?
Yeah, I actually did 72 pro shows, and I did something that back in the day nobody did. Because including you and everybody else, you were picking just for the Olympia, and that was the main show. For me, I was a professional, just up and comer. I needed to make money, so every show was an opportunity. It's like saying to yourself, "I'm not going to go, to the job Monday, Tuesday, then I go on Wednesday." So everything that was organized, I was competing. Pretty much 3 years, I did every show that was organized.
Yeah.
And the rest of the shows, the rest of the years, I missed few because I had some appearances in between. But I did a 72, which was the record at the time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, Dexter Jackson, the vampire, surpassed me. Yeah, and I hold no record anymore.
Yeah, well, it was hard to peak for a lot of guys, but you made it kind of an art form. That was what you were doing. You were competing, made a name for yourself. Now you're a world-class trainer. You train with a lot of athletes. Tell me some of the guys you've worked with over the years.
Yeah, well, you probably know that the very first guy that I helped was Nasser Somebody. And Nasser Somebody, up until '94 Olympia that you were in, he was really, average. He did make top 10, but it was nothing spectacular. And then 6 months later, he showed up at Houston, beating Vince Taylor.
That's right.
And a couple of weeks later, now the champions, really set himself as a, top echelon. And he confirmed that he was top 3 at Olympia that year, '95 and '96, I believe also.
And 97.
Yeah, 97, he was second, yes.
He had a good run.
Yeah, he had a good run. So Nasser was first, and of course, and everybody else knows that this was accomplished with some of my
tricks,
insulin protocols, and after that, the word went around, so a lot of people wanted to learn.
You're one of the guys that you really used the term plasma expanders back in the day, too.
No, yeah, let me correct this. I did the insulin and the carb loading, that was in a method. I did talk to Chad Nichols back in those times, 95, 96.
Right.
I explained him how I do the insulin, right? And there was no diuretic testing. But then diuretic testing came about, if you remember.
From Monkey Ridge.
Yeah, and then we couldn't do regular stuff, but Chad Nichols was doing a plasma expander and all kinds of stuff. So he actually told me how to do the plasma expander. I did it. I did for like 99 Ironman and our classic. You know what that means? It's IV. So you can imagine me in a hotel room trying to do by myself for the first time.
Yeah.
I don't know how
you're still here.
Yeah, So you stick the needle in, but then you have to connect it. Then before you connect it, blood is like pouring out. So it's comical. I'm not ashamed to say it. Yeah. So thank God, this is not issue anymore.
But the bodybuilders today are different than when they were in the 90s. I mean, it seemed like so much more competitive.
Now.
I think in the 90s. I think when we were coming up, so many guys, the condition was better, the quality was better.
You're a prime example. We never really discussed this. Sean's conditioning was out of this world every time he stepped on the stage. And because of that conditioning and his symmetry proportion, he could have taken the guys that had twice his size, including Dorian. There was 1 year that was really questionable. But you're right. Back in the 90s, 99 Olympia. 99 Olympia, everybody was in top condition.
Yes.
But somebody has to be first, somebody has to be last. So there's that movement. They say bring back the 90s. We want that kind of conditioning. Now, of course, I'm blamed that I ruined it because a lot of insulin is doing these things with bubble guts and smoothness. Has nothing to do with it.
Right.
It's many other things that they're doing incorrect. But yeah, I commend you for saying this. I think that we all are purists you would like to see the symmetry, proportion, aesthetics, small waist, sweet taper, flat abs, grinding condition. That would bring back a lot of fans to us.
Don't you think the training style in the 90s was different than what some of the guys are doing now? I see you trying to pay it forward with some of the athletes, but I don't see the hunger.
No. I do remember, and very few people know, 2003, Sean and I started training with Flex Wheeler for his last show. He asked us to help him.
Right.
So we started with him, and then we continued to train. And Sean is like one of the smaller guys, but he was intense as they come. So that kind of intensity you can hardly see nowadays.
Yeah,
I experienced it with you at Colosseum Gym. So of course, when Hidetada came about, pushing, then I started pushing another level, higher.
Right.
Not too many guys nowadays train very hard. That's my opinion.
Right.
I really think so. Why? Maybe they rely on supplements. And,
maybe they don't have the examples of guys that actually did train hard.
Yes, I mean, bottom line, there's no blame. John Brown.
Our introduction was hard. We jumped right in.
Yeah, John Brown is one of your
mentors. Yeah.
Mentors, yes, and mine too. I trained with him, and John was like this: as long as you can hold the bar, you can attempt to lift it.
Right.
So there's
no quitting.
No quitting. Like, oh my God! He's actually the first one that did with me. I remember in Florida we did. It's not the giant set, but it was a drop set.
Right, drop sets.
But the drop sets were you go from 50, 40, 30, 20 pounds side laterals. And then you think you're done. No, you're back to 50.
Right.
These kind of things, So, some of my madness comes from John Brown too. I love him absolutely.
So the game's changed a lot. We're here in Japan. You actually turned a guy pro here that you were training with from China. Tell me about that.
Lu Chen Hui, and I hope you're gonna agree. He has all the potential.
Big guy.
Big guy. He's like 6'2" and 120 kilos, which is like 262, something like that. Small waist, wide shoulders, good-looking guy, great legs. He had a issue a little bit. He had some surgery for varicose veins, for calves, so you need to bring them up. But he hired me as he watched all the videos with Dennis Wolf and Dennis James, Gustavo Badel, and Hidetada. So he wanted to experience, and he says like, I don't care what it takes. I want to bring you to prepare me for two important shows. One was the Golden Times, which is I guess biggest show in China. There's a 15-year tradition, and prize money. The winner will get $44,000 US.
When is that?
That was less than a month ago.
Okay.
Every year, yes. So it's a lot of international athletes come and compete. I'm sure you heard like Peter Molnar, right? He plays fifth. Ronnie Roquel was there, placing second. There was a tough lineup, but Lu Chen originally planned some other show, December 1st. And I told him, Hidetada is doing a pro show in Tokyo. You got to do it. It's the best place to really, be noticed.
Right.
I know that you're going to be there. Some other Americans. And I think that IFBB Pro League would appreciate his physique.
And he won. He's an IFBB Pro. So where does he go from here? Is he competing tonight with the pros?
No, there isn't.
Oh, no, it's not open.
Yeah, there's no open. Yeah, otherwise, I would love him to compete next week in Romania, but there's no chance. So we're gonna wait for next year. For that height, he still need to put a little bit more size. But the guy is so dedicated. I don't know if you follow my Instagram. But he was actually crying during the training.
Yeah, he was very intense. Very intense. So let me ask you, as a bodybuilder, what was more enjoyable? Living the dream, doing all those shows, or training these guys and watching them live the dream?
There's a little bit different. I even talked to Flex the other day, and he says, Milos, I'm sure you feel the same. We never really appreciated. We were never living in the moment.
Right.
Back in the day, it was a job, but you don't really realize how good you are,
right?
What you represent, right? And then 15 years forward, it's over. You look back, and I'm sure that you look at your pictures like, God damn, I look good.
Yeah.
So in any way, I missed it. It was just like not embracing the moment, the situation, the environment, the fans. I didn't. I was just like, work. Another show. Now, passing my knowledge to the others and trying to really push them to the high level of excellence, maybe overachieve, something. I was always like this. You ask me, who do I prepare? Gustavo Badel, for example. You know, he was 2002 24th out of 25 Mr. Olympia competitors. Then they even had a scoring up to 16. Right? So he hired me, and I do remember we had a seminar in Miami Nationals, and he came to work with me. And then he came with a bag, and it was like sitting like this, you know, his big stomach, and then he told me, what are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like, so 3 months later, he was top 3 at Ironman behind Dexter and Lee Priest.
Right.
And same year, he was second in GNC behind Victor Martinez, and then top 3 Olympian. You know, so yeah, I think I pushed him to the really level that maybe he would never achieve himself. You know, but it was a pleasure for me to see happening. Another, the best example, my best friend here in Tokyo, Hidetaka Yamagishi, he came 2006.
Yes.
And really, if you interview him, he never really believed he can be at Olympic. And as we were going back in the day on the forums and GetBig.com guys, they would say like, oh, he's short, he's Asian, there's no way ever he's going to be an Olympian. So I put it, he's going to be an Olympian in 1 year, right? You know, because you know, you want to counter those assholes anyway.
Right.
So, you know, but here comes the heat and said, Milos, why did you write this? I said, what do you mean, why did you write it? I can never qualify for Olympia. Like, what?
Yeah, he didn't believe it.
He did, you know, he actually didn't believe that's possible. Next thing you know, he's, you know, several times pro champion, honor classic champion, Olympia competitor for, I don't know, God knows
I
how
think
many
he's
times.
Japan's most decorated athlete.
Oh yeah, you know, and you know, I would say this. I think that he inspired so many Asians.
Yes.
I mean, my Chinese guy Lu Chen-hui, of course, is a big fan of Lu and of Hida. And when you have somebody that actually paved the way, you know, you can follow them very easily.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that Hida is monumental for not just Japan, but for the whole Asian community.
Tell these guys, how can they get a hold of you if they want to train with you, be mentored by you, talk to you, do Skype? How does it work?
Yeah, I do have a Instagram, you know, milosarcev.com. Facebook nowadays, I don't think anybody is going, right? You know, my website is down because I didn't renew it and somebody took my name.
Okay, so
You know,
Instagram.
So, Instagram is the best way.
Milos Sarcev. And you can
Yes.
get the shirts online? Can they buy them?
I'll make them. I'll make them available.
All right, man. Well, this is Milos The Mind Sarcev here in Shibuya, Japan, with another winner in Luchin from China. We'll continue to watch Sean Ray TV for all the contest results and updates from Japan and Milos Sarcev.
Thank you, Sean. Yeah.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.